Okay, so let's start working the neck. A lot of people believe that this is the most difficult part, and it is. It depends on which stitch you're using. So if you look at your neck, I strongly advise that you start either here or here, which is the left sleeve of your sweater. And I'm going to start in the back because this is the least noticeable point. So let's do that. If you look at your stitches, you're going to find them. You're going to pay attention to these loops like so. And then on the side, you're going to look at the loops that go there. And you're going to pick up in the center of each one of these. So there and there. So let's do that. I am going to pick up right in there. See that? Let me get this a little bit closer. So see that loop there? So that's where I'm going to pick up with my new yarn. So there, and then I go to the next one. Not on here because I don't want these little crossed stitches to show. So not there, but right where the loop is. So there, and into the next loop. And into the next loop. So I'm going to go all across here. It's so important that your work gets nicely finished. Once I have the sleeve stitches picked up, I'm going to pick up the stitches that go down. So let's look at the loops that we were talking about. And that one there is a loop. And let's look at the next one. See, that one that is right next to that little bar across. See how the loop goes? So I'm going to pick it up from there. And the next loop will be right next to that little bar across. So right next to it. And then this is not a loop. See, it goes like the other way. So we have to pick up that one there. And we need to pick up this one here. This is not a loop. This is right next to that little bar. And we pick up this one. Let me get this a little bit closer. So this is not a loop, but this one next to the bar, that one is. So pick up. So the next one will be this one here. Right next to the little bar that goes across. And the next one will be here. And we go all the way down. And the next one will be right in there. And the next one is right here. Right here. And now we're going to go across, and let's look at our loops. That is the first one that we see, not here because it would be too much on the edge. So go down here, and the next one is this one, and this. So look at your loops. See them? And you go across. So once you pick up the stitches from the base of the neck, you're going to pick up the stitches from the sides and see that first loop there. So this is from the front, and do not pick up that because it's not a stitch. So go into there and into the next one. You're kind of picking up those little knots. So right in there. And there. This side is much easier. So right there. And you can see that you're going row by row. So there and there. Do not worry too much about how many stitches you have now, because you can adjust your stitches on the first round. Count after this pick up, and you need to have a multiple of 4, so knit, purl 2. And now we're going to go into that straight part on the side. So let's see, this is a stitch, and this one is 2. And so now we're picking up the stitches from the sleeve, and then pick up the stitches from the back the same way. So, and then count how many stitches you have. I forgot to tell you that I'm using the same size needles that I had, and it's just that they're shorter. They're a little bit longer than 16-inch, but 16-inch or a little bit longer would be okay. So now I knit 2, purl 2, and I know that I have 135 stitches. So either I add 1 or take off 3 stitches in order to have a multiple of 4. And so if I add 1 stitch, I have 136. If I take off 3, I would have 132. But I find it easier to just add 1. And so I'm doing that right where I have the back and the right sleeve, so it's not as noticeable. So I'm going to pick up that stitch here. So anywhere you can pick it up from there if you wish. But I am going to pick it up from here, that one there. And then what I have here is knit 2, purl 2, and I'll have to knit that one and another one and then purl 2. And then you start doing that around, and I will come back when I already have all my rounds. See, it's not, you can't see where I picked up the stitches, so that's good. I worked 6 rows of knit 2, purl 2 ribbing. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'm going to use one size smaller needle than this one. This is a 6. I'm going to use a 5 to bind off. So now I go and knit 1, knit another one and bind off, purl and bind off, purl and bind off, knit, bind off, knit, bind off, purl, bind off, purl, and I'll go around and I will see you when I finish binding off all my stitches so you can see how it looks. Okay, so we're almost done. I still have that knit, bind off, purl, bind off, and purl. Bind off, and then just pull at the yarn. Of course, cut it first. And now you want to take your yarn. We can fix that loopy thing later. And go and find that first stitch on the other side. So let's go see. So it's right in there. That one there. And so now you can come back and weave it, make a little knot in the back. And weave in all the ends of your sweater, and we're done. So I'm going to be taking some pictures and I'll post them, and I hope you got good tips with this sweater. I really enjoyed teaching it, and I will see you next time. So this is the way the sweater looks, and Anna will post some pictures. Let me get this a little bit closer so I can show you how the raglan part looks. You see, like right there. And then this is the way the sleeve looks, where you take off. See? And this is what the sides look like. And also very neat. And okay, so thank you, and we will be seeing you next time. And let's see what other project we're going to come up with for the knit along. Thank you.